guys, so in this video I was going to show you how to stream a webcam from somebody else's computer to your computer using Delphi. So let's get started. We're going to call this first one server because this is going to be the server-sided application that you run on your computer. Let's go ahead and give that a theme by going to Project and Options. Bear with me here, guys. Once I get the thing up here, we'll click on Appearance, and then we're going to look for, I don't know, aqua graphite's pretty good, I guess. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create ourselves a button. So let's grab a button and drag it all the way to the bottom here. I'm just going to make it look somewhat tidy, I guess, like that. Try and line it up, I guess, best I can anyway. And then we're going to name that button's caption, capture webcam from remote PC. And then we're going to grab ourselves an image because we have to have an image for where the webcam image is going to show up whenever we basically more or less steal it from the remote machine, right? So there you have it. That's pretty much it. Now we just got to grab ourselves a server. So let's use the Diego sockets for this. They're really simple to work with. I think it'll suit just fine for this YouTube tutorial. We're going to rename this server socket to actually be server socket. And then we're going to go on to the form create event procedure, which let's click on the form, go to events, on form create. So on form create, we need to set up the server. So set up our server socket and make it listen for incoming client connections. Self.serversocket.port is going to be equal to 3434, self.serversocket.open, and now it's listening for active connections. Yippee-doo, we're fucking done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is whenever the socket does receive a command statement from the opposing endpoint, the client, it should only receive one thing, and that's going to be a command to say, hey, we're about to give you a webcam screenshot or whatever, and then the image, right? So let's go into this. The parameters here are a constant A string, which can be anything, and then a command, which is a character. And we're just going to use the command parameter, so we're just going to simply put, we're simply going to receive like a simple character for our command is what I'm trying to say. So a couple of things, we need to create some variables here. The variables are going to be used to receive not only the command character, because that's really simple to do and it's already done for us because it exists right here already, but we do have to create a few variables to receive like the image data, if you will, from the opposing person's webcam. So what we're going to do is create a memory stream, or a string rather. So this is a T string stream. And we will also make a memory stream, so we'll call this one mem. So we'll just do T memory stream, and then this is going to be B, which stands for T bitmap. So the bitmap is the image that we're going to be receiving from their webcam, right? So down below, we're going to put if cmd, which is the command, which is equal to a character right here. So if the command character we're receiving is equivalent to C, actually P for print, so that means print the webcam thing to the thing, right? So we're going to begin, and we're going to put B is equivalent to creating a T bitmap, so T bitmap.create. Then we're going to come on down here, and we are going to, let's do another try statement here, and then we have a finally there, which we'll deal with really soon. So what we're going to have to do next is we're going to have to create our memory stream. So mem is equal to T memory stream.create. And then we're going to go down again and try again to do something else. We're going to also try to create our string stream, which I should have named SS, but I didn't. I just called it MS. So MS is equivalent to tstring stream.create, and then that's actually going to be A, where we're going to be storing all of our string that makes up the image that's being streamed through the socket. I'll explain this in better detail a little later on, okay, guys? So don't despair. I'll go over all of this again. But basically, at this point, we've created our bitmap, our memory stream, and our string stream. So now that we have the string stream, we need to also come down and try to Z decompress the stream. So Z decompress stream, ms, and mem. So this does not appear to be working because we're using zlib, and we forgot to add it to our uses statement. So now that we've added that to the uses statement, we can now use zlib decompression and compression in our application. So now that we have decompressed the stream, which we'll compress it before sending, decompress it here when we receive it, okay? So now I'm going to come down to this finally code, and I'm going to go ahead and finally free my MS. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to come down and I'm going to put, here, let's put this here. I'm going to put mem.position equal to 0, and then I'm going to do b.loadFromStream, and this is going to be our mem stream. Okay, so the bitmap will be loaded from our memory stream, or from our string stream, memory stream, whatever. And then we're going to free it. So we're going to say mem.free, and that is that. Now we're going to come down below this one, and we're going to do form1 dot image sc image1 dot picture dot assign, and then the source persistent will actually be B, which is our bitmap that we should have received and decompressed and all that good stuff. Down here we're going to finish it off, b.free, so we free our memory for the image, and then we're going to update our button information. So form1 dot button1 dot caption is going to be equal to capture webcam from remote PC, and we're also going to enable the button. Form1.sc button1.enabled is equal to true. And that's that, guys. That's pretty much the entirety of the entire server at this point. And I think I wrote it right. I'm not sure. We'll look through that. We'll come across that bridge if we ever have to come to it. Now we're going to move on to the, well, I guess you would call it the victims side, right? If you're going to be spying on someone. So we're going to have to grab a couple of timers. So we're going to grab 1 timer, 2 timer, and that's all we need for timers. Then we're going to grab ourselves a camera component, which you can find right off of the Winsoft tab. You will need the Winsoft components installed to do this. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a client socket to be able to make the connection possible. So we're going to go ahead and look for the Diego client socket here, drag it down, rename it to client socket. And now that we have that done, let's go ahead and just put that there, put this here. And essentially, whenever the form gets created, we're going to write some code. So we need the client, make the client connect to our server. Self.clientsocket.host is equal to localhost in this case, or you can put 127.0.0.1, whatever you guys want. Self.clientsocket.port is going to be equivalent to 3434. Now we're going to say self.clientsocket.connect. And it's that simple. We're done. So now that that's connected, also, let's do one other thing. On the server side, let's go to onClientConnect and actually fix something real quick. Let's actually make it look like someone connected. Let's say self.caption will be equal to server, and then we'll do a pipe, and then a plus, and then client connected, and then plus socket.remote address, and then another plus and one of these. Just make it look kind of neat. Okay, cool. So now it looks a little bit better for when they connect in, and you'll see what that does whenever we do that in a minute. But for now, we're going to need to figure out how we're going to get this thing going. So whenever we come to the server, we need to be able to click this button and make stuff happen. So inside of the button click, we need to send over command to client to get his webcam screen shot, I guess is what you'd want to call it. And then down below, we need to disable our controls and make it look like something is happening. So self.button1.enable will be equal to false. And also self.scbutton1.caption will be please wait. And that'll be that. So now up here, to send the command, we just do self.serversocket1.sendAll, and we're just going to do like C for capture and then nothing inside of the text parameter. So that's it. We're just sending the command C. So get us the capture of your thing and send it over to us and whatnot. And that's pretty much all there is to it, right? So what we'll do now that we've gotten this finished is we will go over to the client side, and when the client receives that command, so in the onRead event procedure of the client socket, we're going to say if the command is equal to C, then begin doing some stuff. And inside of this, we're just going to write one simple line of code, self.timer1.enabled : =true. That's all you got to do. Okay, come on back out, double click on the timer to go into the timer1 code, and this is where we're going to begin programming the actual application, okay? So we're going to need a few things to work properly with this webcam component, and that is the format, and our command that we're receiving, and an encrypted command. So let's just go here like this and make var, and then let's make the three things we need, which is format, which is going to be a TW camera format. Then we're going to need command, which is a string, and encrypted command, which is also going to be a string. And I don't even know if we're going to use these. I might just take them out, make it a lot more simple for you guys, but for starting out, let's just go with what we got, okay? So what we're going to need to do is say self.timer1.enabled is equal to false. So I know we just enabled ourselves, but we're going to tick this one time, but we're going to tell it to go ahead and disable this timer for any future activity, okay? Now we're going to say form1.wcamera1.active is equal to false, okay? Then we're going to say form1.wcamera1.device name is going to be equivalent to form1.wcamera1.devices 0.name. That's the user's first installed webcam driver, usually default webcam. Even though it may not be, I don't really give a shit. I only have one webcam on my computer. I'm not going to sit here and loop through a bunch of crap. I'm not even going to put the code in to loop for crap because I don't have any crap to loop through. Get it? I only have one webcam driver and no software installed that has any others for me to play with, so I'm not going to mess with it. This device's 0 is quite literally the only possible webcam I have installed on my computer. If you guys want other examples and stuff, I'll be more than happy to do that in future videos, and also most especially videos where we won't be using components like these, which are complete trash, by the way. The only reason I'm even using this component right now is just to simply show you guys how simple this can be done in Delphi without having to code so much. So anyway, back to the tutorial. So now that we have the webcam locked onto that we're going to be messing around with, we need to set up our format. So we'll say format, which if you guys remember up here up top is also referred to as a TW camera format. So the type of TW camera format is now in our format variable. We're going to put format is equivalent to, and then we're going to type in form1.wcamera1.supported formats, and we're just going to choose from the very first supported format because I don't know what resolution it is. Don't really give a damn. It's just going to work, okay? So that's the format that we're using, and we're going to have to now set up the camera component properly. So the camera component has two different modes. I don't remember them, both of them, but I do know that one is called CT Grabber. Here, maybe we can find it on properties. I think it's on capture type. Oh yeah, so there's Grabber and VMR9, which we're going to be using Grabber. So in the code, what this will actually do is allow us to, later on in our code, be able to grab the image of the webcam right out of the webcam component. That's why it's called grabber, because it lets us grab it pretty much wherever we want in our code. Pretty cool stuff. So basically we're going to put form1 dot wcamera1 dot capture type, and that is going to be equal to CT, sure, capture type grabber, just like that. Then we're going to say form1 dot wcamera1 dot format is equal to our format that we already preset up. Okay, so now we're going to come down, Control D, make that look pretty. We're going to try, and we're going to do a try except here. Actually, let me back this up a little bit, and we'll just go ahead and type in our except on E exception do begin, and I'll just leave it at that right there for you guys. Now we're going to do our try code next. Okay. So now that we've activated our stuff, or rather, now that we've set our camera component up to look at our webcam, we have to activate it and run it. So form1.wcamera1.active is equal to true. Form1.wcamera1.run. This will run the component and make it start capturing image frames from our webcam. Okay. So now on the exception, I'm just going to put exit here in case something bad happens. We don't really give a damn. We're just going to exit out and not do anything. So down below all this code, down here at the last endpoint, I'm going to put in self.timer2 dot enabled equals true. And then I'm going to exit this code. So let's save that, and let's go to timer 2. So the point of timer 1, I'll just reiterate, the point of timer 1 is to set up the webcam component and get it ready to take images from our webcam, right? Follow that so far, guys? Really simple stuff. I mean, just really super simple stuff. We're setting up we're turning off this timer because we no longer need it and letting it go through with the code here so it doesn't execute again. Then we're saying deactivate the webcam webcam component just in case it's already active. You want to make sure it's deactivated. We want to set its device name equal to the first webcam that's installed on this person's computer. We want to set up its format so it, in 1080p or whatever image format that it has supported by this webcam. And then we want to set its capture type to CT grabber so that later on in our code we can grab images from the component and toss them over the socket connection, right? And then we're setting the format equal to the format that we created. And then we're activating the component and running it so that it turns on the person's webcam and starts taking pictures. It's that simple, right? Okay, so now on timer 2. Timer 2 is responsible for actually taking the image and streaming it across the socket. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to create some variables. So let's create some variables. We're going to need to do DC, which is going to be an HDC. And if I remember correctly, this is actually the Windows HDC API. This is for grabbing the height and stuff of images. So let's go down here and make a B for T bitmap. And then let's do mem for T memory stream. Then let's do ms as for the T string stream. And then let's do R for T rect, which is here, I'll just kind of put these together so you guys can get it. These two right here are for calculating the size of an image. Kind of like asking Microsoft Windows to look at the edges of the screen and do that kind of thing, like for the X and Y coordinates of an image, like whenever you're trying to capture like the whole desktop, for example. These two things can really help you out because it can give you the exact number of pixels, etc., and whatnot. It's just used to size images and learn what their sizes are, etc., and manipulate stuff if you need to. The rest of it is just a bitmap image, memory stream, and a T-string stream, which is just a bunch of, it could be anything. It could be the image data, it could be like, this or whatever. It's just a big long string of numbers, binary, that make up the image, right? So that's what that essentially is, okay, guys? So let's Control D that, and let's do some programming. So we're going to have to come over here, and we're going to try, and then we're going to do ms, which is our string stream. So our ms is going to be equivalent to a T string stream tstring stream dot create, oops, not new instance, dot create, and then we're going to do another try statement. So we're going to come down into here, and we're going to try to create the memory stream. So it's going to be tmemory stream.create. And then, now that we've tried that successfully, we're going to come down yet again and try something else. Let's Control D this out and get it looking a little nicer. So we try to create our string stream, we try to create our memory stream, and now we're going to try to create our bitmap. So B is going to be equivalent to tbitmap.create. And then we're going to, again, try something else. We're going to try to repeat the following until something happens. We're going to repeatedly take an image into memory until it's an active, until it is a valid image from the webcam. That's what I'm trying to say. So form1.wcamera1. Current image to bitmap, and it actually does have a bunch of stuff here. We could use JPEG, we could use a file, we could do directly to the stream for fuck's sake if we wanted to, but I'm just going to use a bitmap since I've already created one. So current image to bitmap B, and then we're going to semicolon that out, come down, and we're going to do until assigned B, and B.width is going to be greater than 0, meaning we actually have a valid fucking image, you know what I mean? And we'll just do an extra one, B.height is also greater than 0, so we know that it is truly a valid fucking image that we can send over the socket. That way we have something to spy on. So there's that. Let me think just a minute here, guys. Oh, man. We'll come down and we'll put another thing here. So just put let's save the image, save the valid image to that we just obtained, and put it into our memory stream. So we'll just do b.save to stream, and then we'll put that to mem. So that's going directly into our memory stream. Now I can come down here and finally I can b.free this. Not free image, I just want to use b.free. And then I'm going to Control D that. So now we've got b.free, and then I'm going to come down a little bit further, and we are going to put mem.position will be equivalent to 0, so we're seeking to the beginning of the memory stream. Now we're going to have to compress our stream for sending over the socket quickly. By compressing it, it actually streams the image over just a little bit faster. So we're going to do zcompress stream mem and ms. Now, guys, the reason this is red is because zcompress stream uses zlib, and I didn't include zlib in the uses, so let's put that there now. Zlib, just like that, and now you'll see that it is actually working properly. So we've compressed our stream to our string stream, and now it's time to finally ms.free, because we're done with that. And then what we are going to do is come on down here, and we are going to send the compressed image data over to the server so we can spy on it and view it and all that cool stuff, right? So form1.clientsocket.send, and we're going to do capital P and the ms.data string. And that is what we're sending over the socket. And then we're going to come down and, oh, sorry guys, I actually mistyped this. This is mem.free, not ms. Because if we freed ms here, we wouldn't be able to send ms stuff here. So it's mem-free here for the memory stream, and then the string stream we free after this. So now we go ms.free, just like that. And that's that. So now that we've sent the data over the socket connection and freed the data after we're done sending it to the server side, we can come on down and we're going to continue a little bit of extra cleanup. Now in this case, we need to stop the camera component, or rather stop the camera capture. So we'll just do form1.wcamera1.stop and then form1.wcamera1.active equals false, because we no longer require it, right? So down here, we're going to make this, instead of a finally, we're going to make it an except. So except on E, exception, do begin end. And this is going to just handle any exceptions we need here. I'm not going to put anything in there. There's no really need to. So once we have this, let's Control D this back out. At the bottom of the code, before the end, I'm going to put something here to disable the timer. So we're just going to do self.timer2.enabled equals false. And that's all there is to it, guys. So there you have it. That should be the code that makes this stuff work for the most part. So let's make sure again that we're sending C from the server to the client. So when I click this button, we're sending C to the client. So whenever the client gets that command statement, C, it's going to turn on the timer 1 to true. The timer is going to turn on, and it's going to set up our component to be able to grab images from our webcam, and then it's also going to enable timer 2. Timer 2 is going to enable, so this one will be disabled, and this one will be enabled, and timer 2 will come on, create all the stuff we need to successfully send an image stream across a socket. It'll grab the current image that the component is currently looking at through our webcam, and it'll save it into a bitmap image, which we'll then put into a memory stream, and then we'll copy the contents of that memory stream to a string stream, which we can then take its data string and send it over the socket so that we receive essentially the image data on our server. And when we do this, we're sending P and the image, basically, right? So on the server, when we receive P, we're going to create a bitmap image, we're going to create a memory stream, and then we're going to create the string stream based off of the data we receive from A, which is anything that came through the socket from this end. And then we're going to set its position, and we're going to load the image from its data, and we're going to free it. And then we're going to assign the picture itself, the data that we put into our bitmap image that we decompressed, and we're going to show it. And then we're going to free the image, and then we're going to clean up our work and show some extra stuff. So the whole process of this is basically the server sends a command, the client gets the command, takes the picture, sends the picture back, and the server grabs the photograph and puts it on this image component here, and it's cool, right? Let's see if it actually works worth a damn, if I forgot something. That was pretty fucking quick shit. So let's run this and see what happens. So here is the server running, and I'm going to go to the client now. Make sure that these are not active by default. That is one thing I forgot to tell you guys. These things need to be deactivated when the software runs. Okay, so I'm going to run this, and we're going to allow that through the firewall. And as you can see, a client did connect, and I'll pull the client over just so you can see it here. It doesn't do anything. You can even make this hidden. But I'm going to click this button, and we're going to see, hey, it actually works. I got my hand in the way. No, I'm not going to let you guys see me. Hell to the fuck no, my nigga. Alright, so that's that. As you can see, it works flawlessly, and that, my friends, is how you do a simple webcam, spy thing in Delphi. And had I not been blabbering on, it literally would have taken me probably 25 seconds. No shit. But this has taken 30 minutes to make a YouTube video. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Find the source code in the link in the description, and I will catch you guys again in some of the next videos. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or want me to write something for you, please ask. I will do so. I don't care what it is. I don't care how hard it is. Just ask and I'll make you something. All right. Peace out. See you next time, guys.